Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology of the Gambia on Monday, 10th February, held its first quarter review with a 5-day sector retreat at Sindola Lodge in Kanilai. This retreat brought together various relevant stakeholders alongside the Minister for Higher Education to discuss on innovative strategies, their challenges and resources mobilization, among others. Professor Pierre Gomez, the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, highlights the reason for the retreat and outlines plans and strategies that will be implemented by the ministry in 2025.
Over the next 5 days, we will focus on key areas that are fundamental to our sector's growth. 1. Assessing the achievement of 2024. We will review progress made in institutional development, program accreditation, research output, and policy implementation. This is what we plan to do in 2024. How far have we gone with these key areas? Number 2, setting strategic priorities for 2025. Through a balanced approach of institutional autonomy and joint collaboration, we will identify key performance indicators, KPIs, that will guide our collective efforts. We need to signpost our future. We need to know where we're heading to. We cannot wake up and be doing things haphazardly. We must know the objective and then reach the mountaintop that we are all looking for. Number 3, enhancing cross-institutional synergies. We will explore how our institutions can share resources, collaborate on research, and align their programs to avoid duplication while maximizing impact. This is government institution. These are government institutions funded by taxpayers' money. We cannot allow that we have different baskets, spending money anyhow. We need to really harmonize our interventions so that we limit the wastage. Number 4, addressing sector-wide challenges, whether it is funding constraints, infrastructure gaps, or capacity building needs. This retreat provides a space for open discussions and innovative solutions. We need to think outside the box. We are academics. There will be challenges. We all know that. And that's why we exist. We exist because there are challenges. So our role is not to come and be repeating and spending time on the challenges. We know that before we exist. And that is the core of our existence. Our role now is to provide solutions to those problems. That's why we exist. We cannot come in 2025 be talking about the challenges. Others can talk about challenges because that's not part of their DNA. For us from academia, because there are challenges, that's why we exist. Because academics are torchbearers of society. They must lead society to the promised land. They are the custodians of light, custodians of development. Number 5, strengthening governance and accountability. The role of governing councils in ensuring institutional effectiveness cannot be overstated. Their active participation here underscores our commitment to good governance in higher education.
He urges participants to actively participate in this retreat, as it is also expected to highlight reviews of 2024, achievements and challenges by the heads of institutions across the sector of the ministry.
This retreat is not merely a formality. It is a working session that must yield concrete, actionable outcomes. Concrete and actionable outcomes. I urge each of you to actively participate, to engage in discussions with an open mind, and to propose bold, innovative solutions that will propel our sector forward. By the end of this retreat, we should have a clear roadmap for the year ahead, one that ensures we are making measurable progress in achieving our objectives.
The chairperson of the University of the Gambia, Professor Mohamed Mustafa Fani, also outlined the importance of this exercise, highlighting the gap between gender equality within the sector, and delved into the ways of resource mobilization.
When it comes to equity, I think that we need to work very hard to achieve success in that, in terms of disability, in terms of gender. You can see on the table here, the chairpersons are all men. So we can work on having ladies to catch up. The gap is wide in the Gambia. When it comes to education sector, it's a male-dominant sector. For example, in the university, you have more boys than girls, so, or more males than females. So we need to look into trying to close that gap in terms of gender. I think this is a thing that we need to report when it comes to our second quarter reporting. How can we bring in more of these girls to this area? I know there was a policy in terms of access for girls in education, but how can we bring more girls in the teaching field? You talk to in terms of the professors, in terms of the lecturers, you only still have few ladies. How can we bring in more of these ladies to be lecturers, to be heads of departments? And I think this is a thing that we need to do to look into closing the gap. So when it comes to quality, I think we need to do more in terms of quality, in terms of relevance too. What are we teaching? Are these relevant now? What we taught in terms of 20 years ago, are these relevant now? No. We need to change things and see how we can think that are relevant. Research is key in terms of development, but we need to do more in research. How can we do research that is relevant to development? How can we manage our research? I think these are areas we need to really focus on. Teaching students in terms of how can they be taught to do things, not like the way we used to do things in the last 20 years or so. Now the world is changing. If you don't catch up with what is happening around the world, you'll be left behind. So I think we need to think along those lines as the heads of institutions. How can we think about doing things different? How can we think about research? Managing research is key for development. Education is important for growth. We know that very well, that it's part of a human capital, that if you invest in education, you're investing in economic development. So if you invest in education, you have a big challenge. I think that's where we are as a country. At times, resources are not there, but when you think you can bring resources, I think for me, I don't believe in we don't have resources. I believe in us using our thought process and see how we can generate resources. For me, ideas are the key. The moment ideas are there, one should be able to generate resources.
Dr. Burama L.J. Jami, the chairperson of the Governing Council of Civil Service University, also gave an overview of the transformation process by the Council to transform the Management Development Institute, MDI, into a civil service university.
The Governing Council of the CSU held its maiden meeting and has scheduled a forthcoming meeting to address key strategic issues, including reviewing financial statements and the budget proposal for 2025. Also, examining the MOHERST budget for the transformation of MDI into civil service university, reviewing the draft CSU prospectus, finalizing the CSU's vision and mission statement, and developing the CSU's motto and emblem. These reviews will provide us with not only the baseline regarding the financial status of the university, but also a solid foundation for resource mobilization. The establishment of the CSU marks a significant milestone in the professionalization of public service education and training in the Gambia. As we deliberate on strategies to strengthen synergies for the achievement of the 2025 key performance indicators, let us remain committed to fostering innovation, collaboration, and excellence in higher education. The transformation of our institutions must be guided by a shared vision of enhancing access, equity, quality, and relevance in education and training.
He further highlighted the approach and pillars by CSU
will anchor its education and training mandates on 4 key pillars. 1, in-service training, diagnostic assessment and testing. In this, the CSU will serve as the premier institution for training needs assessment, diagnostics for civil service entry and promotion, and capacity building for the various managerial, administrative, and professional cadres. Our approach will align with the model adopted by the École Nationale d'Administration, that's ENA in Senegal, ensuring that the civil service is equipped with the necessary skills and competencies. This requires not only the corresponding government leadership commitment, but also legal, policy, and indeed financial support. Madam Chairperson, please allow me to indicate that our memorandum of understanding with ENA is at the signing stage, probably delayed because of the change in leadership at ENA. The second pillar, as we envisage, is professionalization of disciplines. This means CSU will partner with specialized professional institutes, such as the Institute of Procurement and Logistics, the Institute of Project Management, the Institute of Taxation, Planning, Statistics, etc., to offer certified programs that lead to admission into specialized professional cadres. In the long run, the Civil Service University will domesticate these programs, offering them independently. The third pillar, as we envisage, is the professional degree programs, where CSU will be launching, the CSU will be launching its first master's degree in management and public administration in partnership with JIMPA. This will be done very soon. Additionally, through our already signed memorandum of understanding with the Geneva School of Diplomacy and International Relations, we plan to upgrade our higher national diploma in diplomacy and international relations to full-fledged bachelor's and master's programs. My own view is to leverage their distant learning platform to facilitate training of our diplomatic missions worldwide. The fourth pillar is research, innovation, and consultancy that my colleagues have talked about. Civil Service University will strengthen its research capabilities to enable us to reflect and improve our own practices in service delivery and to contribute to evidence-based policy making and implementation.
The aim of the retreat is to offer all the line institutions under the ministry to improve the issues of operative abilities and reinforce harmonization for greater service delivery through sharing of concepts in order to be able to address challenges faced by the ministry in 2024. The retreat, which commenced on February 10 to 14, 2025, will help strengthen the operational function of the ministry and boost the ministry's relationship across the higher education sector in the Gambia. For Voice Digital, I am Yang.